Hello everyone and welcome to GoldenNova's First Reacts, where I react first to all the things you want to see reacted to first, as long as I'm the first person you come to react to things first. The Quarter Century Box. The infinite quarter century continues on for another quarter century, and the special box that comes along with it has a new set of cards being released. They've got a number of archetypes they're supporting. I think they've revealed one so far, and I know one of them is Dragon Maid, which we haven't seen yet, but another one is P.U.N.K, an archetype that's never really been bad, maybe middling at some points, but it's a deck that is full of just about every advantage engine that I enjoy. The main cards you can all summon with emergency teleport. You pay a little bit of life points to get a lot of great value. You have combo lines that get you into absurd amounts of material. And then randomly you go into Psychic and Punisher to close out the game. It has everything you could want. It just doesn't line up with the current decks that are running the format. I don't know if support actually helps change that. We just have to see a different philosophy in how the game is played before we see more P.U.N.Ks in the format. That being said, more of them can't possibly hurt. If anything, we've got Fusion, so we can just fold that into a giant carp and see where we go from there. I'm gonna go ahead and roll down to No P.U.N.K Rising Scale, a level 8 Water Sea Serpent monster. The Synchro is a Sea Serpent, if I remember correctly. Level 8 Water Sea Serpent, 2400 attack and defense. You can only use the first, second, and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. You can banish one other P.U.N.K card from your hand or graveyard to special summon this card from your hand. That's so easy to deploy. If this card is special summoned, you can pay 600 life points to take a P.U.N.K monster from your deck or graveyard, except a level 8, and either add it to your hand or special summon. When a monster your opponent controls with 2500 or more attack activates its effect, you can change it to face down defense position. That's pretty funny. So, this last effect is just kind of like a goofy Book of Moon. In case our opponent has a big monster, that's not a link that we can just shut down. I can see that being relevant at some points. These other two effects are bonkers. So, for those of you who don't know, P.U.N.K has a field spell that twice per turn, I think it's twice per turn, It at least once per turn lets you banish a P.U.N.K monster from your graveyard to summon a P.U.N.K monster from your hand. That's effectively what this has this just added in there, so it doesn't take usages from the field spell, and you can do this without having to have the field spell in rotation. That's stupendous. And then when you summon it, you pay 6, as is the norm with these. Pay 6, take a P.U.N.K from your deck or graveyard. It's two of the best places for your P.U.N.Ks to be. And either add it to hand or special summon it. So you can't get a level 8 one, so I believe this means that we can't get Foxy Tune or Ogre Mask. But this does get Deer Note, which is a level 5, and just so happens to be one of the best ones to get your hands on, because that can revive level 8 monsters. So this restriction here just means you have to jump through like an additional hoop that you were probably going to jump through anyway. Or you can just get your level 3s, and so this is why you add it to hand. You want to put the level 5 monster in hand, because Deer Note's effect in hand is pretty good. You special summon the level 3s, and what's great is that because they're all level 3 tuners, you pair that with this level 8, and then here you go, you have your amazing dragon summon. What a house of a card! I mean, it sucks to banish a P.U.N.K monster, a P.U.N.K card, not even just a monster, a P.U.N.K card from hand if you aren't able to get a P.U.N.K card into the graveyard first. But if you are like starting out your plays going first, you at the very least have the option to do that so that you can get some cards into rotation. That is goofy, and you don't have to use your normal summon. Your normal summon is still intact through all of this, and it doesn't apply any restrictions. Wow, this card is... Okay, what's the second one? So, P.U.N.K Jam Fever. Oh, I gotta look at these card arts once we're done here. So this is funny. A rank 8 light Psychic Xyz monster, 2000 attack, 600 defense, generic rank 8, so I need 2 level 8 monsters. Once per turn, you can Xyz summon P.U.N.K Jam Fever by using a P.U.N.K Fusion or Synchro monster you control as material. Oh, that's pretty cool. Wait, that actually rules. Okay. So, I'll finish reading this really quickly. You can pay 600 life points and attach a material from this card to draw a card. You can use that effect once per turn, same as this next one. When another monster's effect is activated and you have a level 3 psychic monster in your graveyard as a quick effect, you can detach a material from this card to negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that monster. Okay, so it's also a monster negate, as long as you've proven that you're on Punk or any level 3 psychic. Psychic Wheel Eater, Psychic Tracker, Ghost Ogre in Snow Rabbit, that works too. Okay, so I saw the rank 8 here, and I'm like, okay, so they want you to lean more into the level 8 Punk monsters, and then overlay those. Unfortunately, that was them testing me on this one. You can actually just make a Jam Dragon Drive, and then overlay this on top of it once you've used the effect, because it has like the on-summon effect. Detach it, and then whenever your opponent activates a card in response to your Punk effect, you can bring back Jam Dragon Drive. So it's like the freest overlay on Jam Fever I've ever seen in my life. If your opponent negates Giant Carp or Rising Carp, we can overlay on top of that. And then like Amazing Dragon is the one that you make during your opponent's turn, so you can make it, bounce a bunch of your opponent's cards, go back to your turn, use Amazing Dragon's effect to revive a Punk from your graveyard, and then at that point, if you want to, you can overlay Jam Fever on top of it. Now, by doing that, we're only giving it a single material, and both of these require a detach. So you could also, if you wanted to make use of both of these effects, hard overlay this with your level 8 monsters, which isn't impossible, but of all the things that Punk is known to do, fielding multiple level 8s I don't think is the best of them for them to be doing. And then I say that, and then I remember, wait a second, Horus cards exist, so Horus Punk could be a thing. It's not outlandish. They love level 8 materials to go into their level 11 synchros. Why not add in the deck that just spews out level 8 monsters like there's no tomorrow? So you could hard make this with 2 Horus monsters, because it's completely generic. You can get the draw, you can get the negate, and if your opponent doesn't make you use the negate on their turn, then you can keep it on hand to deal with something while you push in for lethal, or you can just be greedy and detach for another draw on your turn. This is, of course, on top of the fact that Punk already has a field spell that draws you 2 cards. Okay, I want to look at the art really quickly. I don't think there's any like lore stuff, but I just want to see, because the Punk cards are glorious. We have Xiamen. I think those are all different Xiamens, right? During different performances. That was the one thing I couldn't really grasp when it came to Xiamen's performance stuff, but that's them. They're performing. Good for them. And then what's going on here? It looks like Madam Spider is using their webs to control the big dragon parade costumes. Shirakasai is up at the top left doing some painterly stuff. I think that's Wild Picking. No, that's Wagon. Wild Picking is one of their spell cards. Wagon is up there doing stuff. This is these cards are great. Oh yeah, we can tell this is the spider manipulator puppet thing, because this dragon has the little evil machine in its mouth. Wow, these cards are fantastic. Yeah, these are, if anything was gonna make Punk at least part of an engine that is playable for the modern day, this is going to be it. These cards are fantastic. They are making huge splashes right out of the box, and I'm not just saying that because one of them is water attribute. Normally I would do that, but you know, I'm not joking during my reveals. This is 100% serious. Holy cow. That's Gabongas over here. Holy cow. Yeah, okay, so oh, and there's little baubles too. Man, I love these little boxes. When I was doing sponsorships for the Japanese imports, one of my favorite things was to buy these to show them off, because you just get so much cool stuff out of these. I really wish they would do something similar in the TCG, and I guess the Magnificent Mavens box was kind of like that, but it didn't feel like it had, like, I don't think it came with like the acrylic stands or anything, right? It just had like the sleeves, which were nice, that's good, but it's just not the same. Anyway, cool stuff, happy to see these. Glad punks are getting another big wave of support. It's funny how powerful they are without ever having felt really oppressive. They're a really great advantage engine that you can throw in, arguably, I would say, just about anything for a free power boost. Maybe doesn't gel well with everything, but anything that can fit them definitely should, because the amount of stuff you get out of these is wild, and apparently that's not going away anytime soon. But now I want to kick it back to all of you. I know that they're wild, but am I overhyping them? Is there an interaction that I have overlooked? It wouldn't be the first time that I had looked into a card and thought it was better than it actually was, or missed something that was completely game-breaking, so I'm relying on all of you to give it a second look to my first react. Gonna pen that transition in for later. And so yeah, let me know down below. I want to read it, and until the next time Konami drops some juicy spoilers, I will see all of you next time. Bye-bye. Today's episode is brought to you by Dragon Shield. Get the sleeves as strong as dragon scales and get 5% off your order by using the coupon code GoldenNova at checkout. It was also brought to you by my lovely patrons, including this month's illustrious Quasar Commanders, Upstairs Media, and Natiel Lee Alexander, Nebula Navigator's 3rd Dynasty, 50 Gigabytes, Ada Basilisk, Adam Zajdel, Owexotoa Hime, Anansi Dragon, Ancient Wizard, Andrew Newman, Battle Axe, Kane Senpai, Chibi Gohan, Christopher Fuss, Clockswork, Comrade Copperbottom, Eric, Frankie, Garland Chaos, Great Big Pillock, Hair Bear, Happy Majin, Harry the Ominous Benefactor, Iron Zero, Iskander 711, Carp, Mana Charge, Marion James E. Picata, Megacombi is entering the Chrysalis, Millennia Asta, Muse Clark, Orozco 09096, Panther J, Pat Poos, Rank 10 Trains, Rebel King Lucifer, Red Eyes Jackalow, RJ the Jank Monarch, The Critic of Innocence, Thievery Coast and the Wizard Moose, Cosmic Crusaders Animasta, Baron Von Titty Sprinkles, Buelcifer, Fish, Beluga Masta, Blitzwolf, Caesar M, Chaz Ghost, Dr. Reaper, R.I.P., Eva Padilla, Hike Boyagian, Herbal D, Ignis Heat, the true Draco Slayer, Kale the Dragon, Kiva Public, Lobomaru 02, Manga Pages, Matt Simmons, Mick Spoofy, Mike, Nitromo, Not Al Gore, Nyx, Obsidian, Pokemon, Rainer Leong, Rhyme Kairos, Shizuka Nijimura, Sophie, apparently, Stephen Williamson, The Legendary Raven, The Phantom Knights of Shitted Pants, The Gene, Tiger X2476, Weasel King of Weaseltown, and Zaldreka, as well as the wonderful Starlight Explorers you see on screen now. If you'd like to help me in my journey to cover all of Yu-Gi-Oh's archetypes, get my videos early, be a part of these credits and other awesome perks, it would mean the world to me if you would check out the link to my Patreon in the description or consider joining as a YouTube member.